Baby, I'm back.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We back. Oh, Lord, are we back? For the second half of Sisters Season 7, Part B. This is the trailer breakdown for the upcoming episode 13. All I'm going to say is I have enjoyed this little break from Sisters, but since we back, y'all know how I do. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody. You know what I'm saying? If you want to. But if not, just sit back, relax while we get into this messy thing.
I mean, does anyone not care about Penelope? You keep her name out of your mouth. Well, what? That's enough.
Now, first thing first, I'm going to say, and the Oscar goes to Mr. Gary Borders. Because, sir, why are you up at this police precinct acting as if you are so concerned about Penelope when we all know that you are the culprit behind this woman's disappearance, possible demise? We don't know yet because they're keeping this thing under wraps. All we know is he pushed Penelope down in his office. There was so much blood that was leaking out of this woman's body. I'm sorry for the graphic nature. And that's all we know. He had a cleaning crew come, and we don't know what baby girl been since that moment. And I just feel like Gary makes me think of one of those men who has been in trouble consistently, that the police officers should know exactly what he's doing with this front. But also, Gary is also a man with a lot of pull, with a lot of notoriety, and with a lot of connections. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gary has people in his back pocket, if he has people on his payroll with the police, because we all know that there are some shady police people out there, and anybody that's like really connected to Gary in that way, I'm looking at them sideways. But I just could not believe this man putting on this performance as if he's just so distraught because he doesn't know where this woman is. Gary, go jump in the empty pool, sir.
Super station. Do you even know the percentage of her getting pregnant at the same time by two men?
Now we see Fatima and ZAC, and it seems like Fatima is going to run her own self ragged concerning Karen's pregnancy and the fact that she's pregnant by both Aaron and ZAC. I could be wrong. But I believe that this is another tactic for Fatima to attempt to sow seeds of doubt when it comes to Karen and her pregnancy, and ZAC, I'm assuming, being the father, because we see that Fatima is on her laptop and she's looking up the condition that Karen has. It is very rare. It does not happen often. However, that doesn't mean that it is impossible. It's a miracle. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's a miracle. It is a situation is by chance. It just doesn't happen. However, in this situation, it has. It doesn't mean that Karen is lying. The doctors have already confirmed back in the first half of the season that Karen's children were fathered by two different men, ZAC for sure being one of the fathers. So I'm not really sure what Fatima is trying to get at. She did seem very antsy. She did seem like, I just can't believe this has happened. And I get that. I think that her disbelief is very real, but I'm not sure exactly what she's trying to prove. And we all know that these previews can be very misleading. However, we know that ZAC is in a place where he is happy despite the fact that Karen is pregnant by both him and Aaron.
Like, you really should be upfront about this. I promise you it'll make everything so much easier.
I will when I'm ready.
Speaking of Aaron, my husband, my boo, we see that Aaron comes into the salon and he tells Karen that she really should be upfront about this. And I'm not sure exactly what he's speaking of, but her response is, I will when I'm ready. And I do understand. I understand that Karen is dealing with a lot because this entire time she just believes that she's, pregnant with one child. She firmly believes that ZAC is the father. Then to have basically the carpet pulled from under her, like, baby girl, nah, you pregnant with twins. And not only that, you have two baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? You got two baby daddies. I don't know why I say baby daddies like that, because I really don't even enjoy using that phrase. I normally just say, you have two fathers, or the mother of your children, or the father of your children. In my everyday life, that's how I speak. But since I'm doing this video trying to make it a little entertaining, that's just the vibe that I be on. She got two baby daddies. But that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That is a lot for anybody to digest. And I feel bad for Aaron. And the reason why I feel so bad for Aaron is because Aaron is a man who he knew for sure that he was the father. That's what he believed. And then not only that, when Karen got to the place that she just felt like it was too much to have him try to, be there for her while she's pregnant with someone else's child, he honored her wishes by ceasing communication and any type of interaction with her. Then weeks later, to be called to come over to be told that she's pregnant with twins and you're the father of one, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot for him too. It's a lot for everybody involved, but that's just a lot, in my opinion, for Aaron as well. And I would love to see Karen, and it may be asking too much, I don't know, but I'm like, sis, I just need you to be a little bit more calmer when you're speaking to Aaron. I need you to be a little bit more compassionate to the fact of where he is mentally. Like, he's excited. And I think about the moment that we got between her and ZAC at the hospital. He was able to have that moment with her. He was excited. He was happy. He hugged her. He was rubbing on her stomach. And I'm like, I feel that Aaron should be, given that same opportunity without, I don't know, the distance. And I think that I think it's safe to say that Karen has a lot more going on in her mind when it comes to Aaron, in spite of just her being pregnant. I believe the Jennifer situation is weighing on her a lot more than she's willing to give credit to at this time. But I do hope we do get an opportunity for Aaron and Karen to really have a deep conversation, and even for her to express how she really feels about this woman just popping up out of nowhere, basically making Aaron out to be some other person, and how that may have set her back when it came to opening up herself emotionally with Aaron. So hopefully we do get a chance to see that. But with these new writers, I'm gonna come for y'all when I do the episode breakdown. But I'm gonna keep it cute and mute right now. Thank God for grace. So let's just move on along.
You're stalking me. Everywhere I go, you want to be. We're in the same womb, bro.
So we see a brief scene with ZAC and Aaron, and ZAC is telling him that he's stalking him. I said, baby, what? That he's stalking him, and everywhere he is, that's where Aaron wants to be. And the fact that they are actually sharing the same womb. I said, baby, who want to stalk you? Because you don't do nothing. You don't go to work. You basically act like a college student with no job. ZAC acts like a college student who doesn't go to class, but you just see them around. And you be like, I got a 3:45 with him on every Tuesday and Thursday, and that brother ain't never in class. That's ZAC. That's Zachary Taylor. Because, sir, what do you do with your time? You're either home, you at somebody basketball court, you at Karen's salon. We don't see you do nothing. So what would he want to stalk you for? Why would he want to be where you are? At least, I ain't gonna go there. But anyway, anytime that we see ZAC and Aaron interact, ZAC always comes with a heavy dose of immaturity. His insecurities just oozes out every time Aaron is in close proximity of him. Every single time. It never fails. And my thing is, and I've had several conversations with several people, and I'm like, please help me to understand why you believe ZAC should have a problem with Aaron, but you believe Karen shouldn't have a problem with Fatima. It makes for great conversation and great dialogue, because sometimes I don't understand where people are coming from. When it comes to ZAC and Aaron, frankly, I'm getting tired of all the penis swinging contest. It was a little cute in the beginning. Okay, cool. Y'all know fought several times. Y'all have had verbal back and forth several times. At this point, there are children involved now. And based on what we see, it appears that Aaron is approaching ZAC on a man-to-man type of situation, and ZAC is resorting to his 10-year-old self that he pretty much operates in 95% of the time. And I'm just sick of it. Like, what is your problem? Once and for all, can we just come out and say what the problem is? I really want to know. But this whole thing, we practically sharing the same room. You following behind me. And I said, it's so funny because just a couple weeks ago, ZAC was, telling Fatima that Karen gonna have to be on this kumbaya type of vibe because you're gonna be around. You're gonna be a part of this child's life. And I knew, and a lot of us knew, and we talked about it, that Aaron is not going to be welcomed the same way that ZAC wants Karen to be open arms with Fatima. We already knew that, and we are seeing this firsthand. We're seeing it firsthand. So we'll see if they ever come to a peaceful place. I ain't holding my breath on that. Y'all shouldn't either because we might pass away. But I just want to see some peace. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see if we get an opportunity for that.
Are you telling me Karen has 2 baby daddies?
Then we see Danny and Sabrina. And Sabrina is basically saying, so you're telling me that Karen has 2 baby daddies? Girl, she got 2 baby daddies? And Danny is like, girl, yeah. I want to say she said, I swore I wouldn't tell you. It's still F Danny on my side. And it's still going to be F Danny on my side. Because your word means nothing. Your word means absolutely nothing. Danny could not wait to tell Sabrina about this revelation that she received while she was at Karen's house. Now, like I said, I'm not going to say nothing about the writers right now. I'm going to keep it cute and mute. But matter of fact, I think I just might do a whole individual video about that scene when everybody was at Karen's house, both the invited and the uninvited guests. I think that's what I'm going to do because I got a lot to say about that scene. Because writers, y'all tried it. You did. You tried it, but I'm going to let it go on this because this is not what this is. I said, now I'm interested to see how Sabrina is going to act now that she knows this news. Is she going to bring it to Karen? Is she going to wait until Karen reveals it to her? What's going to be her stance on it? How is she going to reply to Danny now that she knows this information? I am so intrigued about how Sabrina is going to act because I was giving Sabrina a lot of grace, but my grace ended for Sabrina at the brunch. And then it definitely went out the window at this mocktail that she threw. Because being silent, there's a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. And it is a quote that I absolutely love. And I'm not going to say live my life by, but it has truly shaped me. And I remember, I think I was in the 8th grade the first time I ever read this quote. And I may have said this quote before on this. I'm not for sure. But the quote is, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. And that quote stuck with me from a child. I don't even remember how old you are in 8th grade, but from the 8th grade up until now, being a fully grown woman, that quote has really stuck with me because the people whom you love, the people who you consider your friends and your family, when they don't speak up for you, when they don't have the words to say to make you feel better in a moment where you may be feeling the pressure, or it may be a conflict situation, or a situation that makes you feel less than or outnumbered, and your friends don't say anything, that says a whole lot. And Sabrina has gotten away with being the passive friend, with being the friend that doesn't say anything, with being the friend that wants to keep the peace. Well, sometimes you have to interrupt that peace. Sometimes you have to be honest. Sometimes you need to say something. If anything, I think it's going to be the silence from Sabrina that causes an issue between her and Karen within their friendship, because we are beyond the time of Sabrina needing to say something when she needs to say something. And we just don't get that from her. And I'm going to leave it at that. I want to thank you guys for listening. Until next time, y'all be safe out there, and I will holler at y'all later.